Hey everybody, welcome back to Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home with a Sunday shave with Barber Dave. And it's going to be kind of a different shave today. It's going to be kind of a tribute shave to all the dads out there of my generation, 60s. And it's also going to be, there's been some talk about vintage Gillettes, which I did a shave with yesterday. Not a video, just a shave. And then Williams. And so the first part of the video is going to be kind of the way I lather Williams. And then the second part of the video will be kind of a tribute shave using all the stuff that I remember my dad used in the shave. And we'll go more into that. So for today, first thing we're going to do is show how we shave Williams. So we'll get set up with all that and we'll be right back. Hey everybody, okay, we're back. And now this is a brand new puck of Williams shaving soap. This is the new stuff, not the older stuff. And what I do is I soak the brush in the same water that I put the puck into, and I soak it really good. So what I'll do is I'll empty this out, and you can see that the puck is well hydrated, that it is a brand new puck. And then I very lightly shake out the brush, and this is a Rubberset 404. And then what I do is I just start swirling, and it's kind of weird doing it in the video this way, but I just start swirling the puck, and I'll start adding water. And this is kind of a soap that I do kind of a combination, for lack of a better term, bowl lather and face lather. So I'll get this, since the soap or the brush is actually very, very wet, I'll get a nice creamy type of lather started in the proto lather, but I'll leave everything in this bowl, or in this mug rather, to put on the face. So you can see that it's actually very, very easy if you hydrate the puck real well, and it just makes a wonderful lather. So that's kind of the proto lather on how I do Williams mug soap. Now we'll come back when we do the shave and we'll show you exactly how it works on the face and whether we need to add some water or not. So we'll be back in just a few seconds. Hey everybody, welcome back. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do the shave now. Let's set this shave up. But before we do, let's not forget, today's shave is brought to you by Nurse Dave Shaving Rolled Poker Chips, the bluest poker chip in San Francisco. And right down here, don't forget to come see us at www.theshavingcadre.com. We'd certainly appreciate it. And then right over here, we'd really appreciate it if you click on the barber pole with the cowboy hat. That is our subscribe button. And down here somewhere, you're going to see the bell, ring the notification bell. That way you're notified anytime we bring out new content. And then also in the description section, besides what's going to be going on with today's shave, you'll see a long list of people that have YouTube channels that support us, support the cadre, and then just some channels that I think are pretty cool that I think you guys might enjoy. Okay, so what are we using today? Well, let me preface this by saying that those of us of a certain generation, and that would be those of us that are born in the late 50s and 60s, probably at least once or twice watched our fathers shave. Now, back then, they didn't have the plethora of, yes, and I said plethora, of shaving soaps and shaving gear and shaving brushes and alum and talc and yada, ba, ba, ba. They didn't have all that stuff. In fact, most of the time, our parents, our fathers, used shaving as it was a chore. They had to get up in the morning. They had to look good for their office, or in my case, in the hospital. So they had to shave every day, and most of them thought it was a chore. Every once in a while, though, you'd get a dad that kind of enjoyed it a little bit, and he wouldn't possibly have a bunch of different shaving soaps or shaving brush. Usually one soap, one razor, but they would spend money on fragrances. My dad loved Royal Bay Rum, Brut, and stuff like that. So this is kind of a tribute shave to them. So, but before we go, we need to kind of get in the mood, don't you think? I think we do. So there, that's much better, isn't it? Hence the reason for the white t-shirt. So what we're using today, and if you watched the few minutes before, I showed everybody how I lather this soap. Williams mug soap. Now this is a new puck, new version, and I've already lathered it up. And the brush that we're going to be using today is a brush that my dad had, a Rubberset 404, obviously knotted in a badger. The razor, this is a razor that he used daily, and it's a Gillette Fatboy. The aftershave, which he used almost every day, was Aqua Velva. And then, of course, his favorite overall was Brut. And he didn't use the alum, didn't use the witch hazel. So we're going to try to do that today. He did use talc. That's how I first came across it before I became a barber. So let's go from there. Hope everybody's doing well for a Sunday. It's a cool, rainy, foggy day here. So as I said in the video, I kind of prepared, and I do a bowl and a face lather, kind of a mixture, because I soak the puck very heavily in water while I'm taking a shower, as I said, and then I'll work it in the mug, and then bring it to the face, taking all the residual out of the mug and seeing how it is. A lot of people don't like Williams, but if you get it right, it's probably one of the most versatile soaps, both for shaving with a DE and shaving with a straight razor, because with the right amount of water, it becomes probably one of, if not the slickest soaps out there. And that goes for the newer. Now, the tallow is obviously a little bit different and better, but the newer version is not bad. And as I showed you before, this is a brand new puck, and I've got quite a few of them. But as you can see, it may start out as a little bit of a foamy consistency, but once you get the soap right, it's just thick, it's voluminous, and it's really, really nice. And it just has that wonderful Williams smell, just pure, clean, soapy goodness. Fatboy is set on 7, and it's got a brand new Personna Super blade in it. But if you're like me, when you were growing up, you know, you may be playing with a Tonka truck or Army men or something like that, because we didn't have cell phones to be playing a game on while we watched our dad shave. But there was a simplicity to the time, I think. And I think that, as I said, many of a certain generation, that's where we found our first inkling that we would fall into this hobby. Now, my father passed away in 1978, so he didn't get to see the wet shaving hobby really take off. And I would venture to say that most fathers probably would look at this hobby kind of crazily and say, guys, it's just shaving. We have to do it every day to go to work. Why would you want to do it as a hobby? But then again, we have the fortune of having all the different soap makers, all the different availability of tools. And so it's I still think it's a great time to be in this hobby. And the funny thing is many people that will say, oh, the 50 to $1 pucks of Williams are just old school and there's so much more now. What's funny is you've got soap makers that are trying to reproduce the beauty that was Williams. So go figure. And as I said, the more water you add to this, the slicker it gets. To the point where your hands can actually slip off. And I've touched on this retro subject before, but, when you're talking about memories from your childhood, this is one that, although it sounds simple, probably one of the best memories I have of my dad. Just sitting on the carpet. And of course, yes, we had shag carpet right outside his bathroom, watching him with a white t-shirt, and this razor going through the motions. Now, traditionally, my dad did not do the 3 passes. He would usually do basically with the grain, against the grain, and call it good. And also, he kept all of his fragrances, not in the restroom, obviously, but in a kind of an armoire that he had his shirts and sweaters and stuff like that in. So that was kind of neat. And, you know, like I said, you know, a lot of people have trouble with Williams. This is in the mug, and I've got a ton of lather still in the brush. And in the mug. So I find it very easy to lather if you soak the puck correctly. With a lot of soaps, you know, some people will just float a little bit of water on top of the puck. What I do is I flood the puck, as I said, while I'm in the shower or whatever the case may be, and soak the brush in that same water. And I feel that it really helps. And then when I'm done, I'll rinse the puck off, dry it, and put it back in the box. But if you're not getting a good lather with Williams, try it that way. I guess it could be argued that it's a little bit like the Marco method, but it's not. Your brush is not quite as wet. But I don't really shake the brush out that much. And the residual slickness of this stuff is just, even without water, is just amazing. I mean, that is just like, just super slick. You don't need any soap to do any cleanup at all. And as I said, our folks usually didn't have alum or anything like that, so they would they would get the full hit of the wonderfulness that is Aqua Velva, and we're going to do the same here. Once again, Aqua Velva Ice Blue. The juice is not vintage, but the bottle is. And to put it on the way my dad did, you get that wonderful cooling. And like I said, the alum usually takes a lot of the initial hit away. But the older Aqua Velva had humectant. Nobody knows what that is. A nice marketing tool. So we'll let that dry down a little bit. Now, my dad did use talc, and he did use Pinaud talc. Brut used to make a talc as well. You can't find it anywhere. But the Aqua Velva is just wonderful stuff, classic, and you can still buy it for next to nothing at Walmart or Walgreens or CVS or wherever you're looking at it. So, again, the Gillette Fatboy on 7 with Personna. I'll clean the brush up so you can see it. And this has got a TGN Finest knot in it. And it's funny, I remember when the Rubberset 400 was just a grail, unobtainium item. And the originals are still hard to find, but now there's a number of companies that are making tribute razors that look almost just the same. So there's the brush, and we'll use a little bit of talc. Now my dad actually, in fact I'll do that. My dad would put it on with a towel because he didn't have a shaving brush like that. So he would just take a towel and take a little bit of the talc. And we do this in the barber shop too. And just kind of rub it on. I'll just get that. Now I will smooth it out, obviously, with a brush. Sorry, Dad. But modern conveniences. And it just really leaves your face smooth and clean and stuff like that. And then, of course, this is not the original Fabergé Brut that my dad would use, but it is the retro bottle that looks just like what my dad had. And I remember the house would permeate the smell of Brut, and then my dad's clothes, when he'd come home, would still have a lot of the Brut smell on it. And it was my mom's favorite, it was his favorite, and probably one of the main reasons why it became my favorite. So again, there's your Williams Retro Shave. I certainly appreciate everybody joining us today. Thank you so much. Again, come see us at www.theshavingcadre.com. We certainly appreciate it. I hope everybody has a blessed Sunday. And we hope to see you again tomorrow. Back to straight shaves and all that normal stuff. I'm Barber Dave. Have a great day.